What's up guys, I'm gonna show you how to install LeoranBoard on your PC. First, you need to go to that link. You can see that link down in the description and download LeoranBoard from the OBS website. So once you've downloaded it, you want to extract all the content that's inside the zip file and put it inside the folder of your choice. So from the file you extracted, you should have 3 folders, one for the receiver and 2 for the Stream Deck. The Stream Deck, like, you choose which one you want, but right now, right off the bat, everything should be working fine. If you run the receiver, 3 things can happen. You should get something like this to pop on screen. So you should just allow that so it can get network access, and you can click accept or change the setting to whatever you want. You shouldn't touch this if you don't know what this is for. Like, this is all set so it works properly, so you don't need to change anything about that. But right when you run the receiver, 3 things can happen. It'll run fine like it just did. It'll close right away. That means your antivirus blocked it because it detected that it's writing file within its same folder, and some antivirus don't like that. Or your antivirus detected that and didn't do anything, it just blocked it. Meaning those files won't be there. Instead, they'll be in the app data folder. So keep that in mind. It'll still work fine if your antivirus did that, or it'll just be that your config file will be within the app folder, the app data folder. If you have the outcome that the receiver just closed down as soon as you opened it, and like your antivirus blocked it, and for some reason you cannot allow it in your antivirus, what you can do is delete this gm file.dll so it doesn't try to write to the folder. That way your antivirus won't close it right away. So once you run the receiver, you'll see like a bunch of deck that I made as an example for you to use, such as meme sound, which are just a bunch of meme sound, explanatory enough. But if you click them, if you click any of them, you can edit them, such as deleting them, or let's go to one that has more space. I can increase the size of one of a button. I can add text to it. Hello. If you right click, you'll see all those options, so you can change color. Right. And no change here. As mentioned there, I put a little note at the bottom of stuff. Like, no change is gonna apply until you click done. So and one more thing about the options, like the frame per second should be the frame per second of your stream. So I tend to use 60 frames per second, so I put it at that. You'll notice that I feel a little bit more smooth. So if everything's working properly here and you got this outcome, so now you can try to run the Stream Deck for PC. So you can run this for testing, and you'll see this. And if you connect, it'll just be on that screen. Well, the one you selected. Let me go over that. So at the beginning, the PC one will be on this, which is your local PC. So that's good. And the port will be the default one, so don't touch that. And the selected board is basically the number that's right here, right at the beginning of it. So you just choose that board. So here I'll take 1. You can allow click if you want, but I don't. And then if I click any of those sound, I'll play them, right? And then the little arrow here that I put to navigate to the next one. But you can do like a lot of things with this. Like, I'm gonna go over all like what you can do with the commands and stuff over in other video, give example, so you guys can learn how it works, because it's quite complex. It's almost like a programming language off of its own. I do a lots of complex things on my stream, so I'll be showing you all of that. But if you have this outcome right here, everything is working fine, you're connecting to it, then you're pretty much set up. Like everything is working fine at this point, right? So now if you want to install the Android app instead, like the Android app is not available on the Play Store, so you have to install it manually. Inside the zip file there will be the Android Stream Deck, which if you go inside, it's a .apk file, which is basically an install file for Android. So you just want to load that on your Android device. The thing is, if you install this, if you try to install this on some phone will block it by default, depending on the file manager they have. If you have that problem where it's not installing, or it's telling you like it might be suspicious file or something like that, it's just default setting for their file browsing that's blocking it. What you want to do at that point is try to get Astro File Manager on the Google Play Store and run through that, run the APK file through that, and it should install fine. At that point, it's the exact same thing as the Stream Deck for the PC, so it should work fine at that point. So if you try to connect it, when you open it, it won't say, it'll say a different IP here. What you want to put in this box is a different number. Inside the files, there's what's my local IP.bat file. If you run this, you will be greeted with this. And you want to look at IPv4 address, which is this number right here. For me, that's what it is. For you, it might be something different, might be this. It really depends on your router. So look at this and put it right here. Right, so if I put this right here, even on my PC, like that should work. If I put that here, and I put commas instead, so that's not gonna work. So yeah, that's what you want to do. Now you might be interested in connecting this receiver to OBS so you can send commands to OBS. So to connect to OBS, first you will need the OBS WebSocket plugin, which there'll be a download link for that in the description. You should probably know already how to install that. I'm not gonna go over how to install that. There's other video that's showing how to install plugin on OBS, so there will be the link down in the description. So once you install that, you should see in OBS, there will be in the tools, you'll see OBS WebSocket, and it'll already be on port 4444. So leave it at that, make sure it's enabled, and once you click connect in here, if your port is 4444, it should just connect to it, and it did. So now that you're connected to OBS, you can test some commands that are that came with the program. In the WebSocket example, which is this one right here, you have a few. There's this one, custom packet, which if you go look at what that is basically it just gets send the get version to OBS. But I made it so if you put message ID 6666, it'll return a message, so you'll see what the reply is. So you can copy the reply if you put message ID 6666. So I don't need to copy that now. So if you make a playlist with music and you use this button, it'll affect the volume, it'll fade it in and out. If you have a source motion, I have an image right here on screen, which is a name image on OBS. So if I click that, I'll just move it like that across the screen, which is basically what's just inside this thing. It's just scene doesn't matter. Source image, move from those position to that position over a duration of 2 seconds, and then 3 seconds later I'll move it back, which is why it goes in and then goes out, goes back where it was, right? And you can do, if you have a scene named outro and intro, which I do not have, and you can do that, and you can stop recording, pause recording, resume recording, and all that stuff. There's a lot of things you can do with these commands right here. There is a lot of commands. If you want help with the commands, you can click help. It'll send you to a page with all explanation of what they do and how you can use them and stuff like that. So other than commands, you can apply things like keyboard macro, sound effect, sound mod. The sound mod is just like volume and speed. I'll show you that in a second. You can also add switch deck, which is just basically this one as this. Edit, it'll switch to the next deck in the list, or you can have multiple option. And Twitch triggers, which I'll go over in a second, and drag press, which I'll also go over right now. So if I bring this up here and I go on this screen, so here there's the speed, the sound mod that I'm talking about. So you have volume and speed, and you have the drag press. Drag press is basically I can press them without just while just dragging either my finger across the screen or the mouse. So if I press this, it'll lower the volume of all the currently playing sound that were triggered through the receiver. And speed is the same thing, but it's just for fun, right? So you can mess with this, right? And you can press stop. So that's another thing you can add in stop all sounds. If you add stop all sounds, then it'll stop everything. You can add a little delay to it, so it kind of fades out, so it sounds smooth and all. So now you might be interested in connecting your Twitch account to Lioran board. So coming with the files, there's a TLS underscore transmitter.html file. You want to include this in OBS as a browser source. So you go in OBS and you add a browser source. So we'll call it TLS transmitter. It doesn't really matter. I make it as small as possible. It really doesn't matter because you won't have to worry about this. So make it local file, browse it, and include that file. And then you just close it. And as soon as you close it, you won't want to have any of these options on. And now you can just hide it. And you'll see TLS transmitter is connected, right? So you'll see that right away. That means it worked. And that's great. So now from that point on, you can now connect to Twitch. So you don't want to have to worry about that ever again. You can put it in a random scene somewhere where you won't ever see it again, and just don't worry about it. So now you want to link Twitch account and open URL. Oh. Okay, that's all good. So now it'll say a token will expire. Normally it's about 2 months, so you want to renew this like about every 2 months. It'll tell you when it's over, and then you do connect to Twitch. So now it'll say listening to channel point, listening to bits donation, listening to channel subscription, connected to chat. So now you can do a lot of triggers with this and lots of cool stuff. So personally, I turn on auto connect to OBS WebSocket and auto connect to Twitch, so you don't have to do this again when you open the program back. So now that you are connected to Twitch, you can actually set triggers from like various event that happens on Twitch, such as if you go there, Twitch trigger, you can select different like bits. You can have people like a certain amount of bits will trigger the button that you put that on. So watch out, like it'll trigger all of them that you set it to. So like for example, let me show you an example of like test broadcast. So the broadcaster, so that's me. So only me can trigger this. So this is not like if I make someone mod and first, they have to be first and mod to be able to activate it. So if you want more, if you want like mod and VIP to do it, then you will have to do like VIP as well. So mod test. So now both mod and VIP can do test, and it'll play. It'll trigger this button. So let's click done and bring out my chat. I can do test, and it played the sound. And that's how it works. That's basically all there is about your onboard. So now you just need to learn how commands work. There's a lot of things you can do with commands. It's basically endless. Like I said, it's a programming language, so learn commands, and this is all you need to set it up. So thanks for watching. I'll be making more video. All the links are down in the description of what you need to install your onboard. See you.